Hello, people. Welcome to our stream.
You're very enthusiastic if you think people are already here. But welcome, YouTube viewers, to a recording of the stream.
We're not in stream.
Are we
also,
not?
We should switch voice.
Oh yeah.
Let me do that for you first.
Thank you.
Welcome, people. Spots, you're not hitting the apple.
I'm trying!
You're just setting the stage ablaze.
Ablaze where? Alright,
also,
anyway.
where did the Illuminati go?
I just heard it and I'm terrified.
God, that's freaky.
That is a terrifying sound.
Okay, so I guess it's time to introduce what we're doing today.
Today's module. Oh yeah. Dropper or dispenser?
Dropper.
Dropper.
It's your module, Sparks. Sheesh.
I'm so lost and confused. I'm a senile old man nowadays. Hoop. And put one of those in there and do this. And then I'm going to save a copy of that because we're going to be making a lot of these, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let me grab a copy as well.
Hooray! I didn't get the advancement. Was I still too far away?
You might have been. I don't know. You should have gotten it.
I'll make another. Nope.
No,
is it enabled? Well, it is enabled. We're building them.
Alright, today's module is custom crafters, as you might have guessed.
Uh-huh.
I might not have finished adding that part.
Hi, Shy Boy. Welcome to the stream.
Hello.
I don't know why stream chat is appearing at the top of the page. Doesn't it usually appear at the bottom and scroll up? Oh well. Doesn't matter too much. Anyway, we have custom crafters, and that is so terrifyingly freaky. It picks people up.
It's just the Illuminati, don't worry.
Custom Crafters is currently missing the advancement folder for no good reason, so we will add that later.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or
anyway,
or I'll add it now. I don't know. We'll find out.
The thing that we think we can do now is multi-crafting. So, like putting in ingredients for multiple recipes. What's a good example of recipe? What about the logs to coal? So
yeah, that's a good.
We should be able to do this and get 7 coal blocks instead of having to do this 7 times. That's the plan.
It will be way more convenient, but there's an issue with it that we've just realized. So some recipes, especially Mastercrafter ones, they yield more than one item the output, and let's say you were to do this with 64 stacks everywhere in each slot. This would still be fine, since this recipe just yields 1 coal block. But let's say the recipe yields 2 coal blocks.
You'd
have to make sure there's no overflow.
Yeah, so Sparks, we tested it while you were eating food, and you cannot set the slot to have greater than 64 items. Apparently they changed it, it just empties the slot entirely. Which is unfortunate.
Oh dear.
But the good news is we got a solution for that.
Mm-hmm.
So, don't tell the Illuminati to be quiet. So, each recipe will check before it executes for the custom crafter's times executed score. The times executed score is how many times in the last tick the custom crafter has executed the recipe that it's supposed to. And if that times executed score exceeds a value manually set in the recipe, then the recipe won't be applied anymore. So let's say you got a recipe that outputs 16 items.
Yeah.
The times crafted score can be at max 3. Because if it's 4, then the recipe shouldn't execute anymore to prevent an overflow.
Okay, but how do we stop that mid thing? Won't it consume the item on every loop?
In the recipe check, like when it's checking, when the expansion is looking at the items in the dropper, before it does that, it can just check to see if the input number that the base module has assigned the that crafter is greater than whatever the number of output it would do. So like, if for example in master crafters with the stone brick recipe,
okay,
the base module would take the number of inputs. So there's like 4. If there's like, so if you put 4 in each stack for the recipe of the input, the recipe would go, okay, so unless only if there's 4 or less do I like change the recipe. Because it outputs 16. So if there were 5 input items, that recipe it would say that's not between 0 and 4.
okay.
Therefore, don't like consider it a failed recipe, and just, like it doesn't match.
That sounds cool. Redstone Potato, thank you. Shadow Slam, hey. Mizode, multi-crafting is just crafting more than one thing at once inside a custom crafter. Like doing 7 of these at once instead of having to put 1 times in, take out the recipe result, etc. So shall we get started on the code?
Yeah, we should.
So this will be part of main. Right.
Yes, what's the fire part about again?
Oh, that's to stop
To
them
make it
appearing black.
Oh, yeah, no.
Because of rendering inside blocks. Because stupidness. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is check for crafters that are not empty, right? And then we can run a function on the ones that aren't empty to only check those to see if the recipe is valid, kind of thing, right?
Yep, sounds about right.
Whilst you were eating, we also noted that the base shouldn't care about the expansions at all. So the base, it will just ping. It will first check if there's any custom crafter that's not empty around. And if there is, it will ping all the expansions, and they themselves will then check, is there one of my custom crafters around?
Okay. Say that again?
The base doesn't care about the expansions at all.
Yeah.
The base will check whether there is a custom crafter with items inside it around. And if there is, it will ping all the expansions, and they will be like, oh, it's time for me to check whether there's one of my custom crafters around. For example, the Master Crafter expansion will check, is there a Master Crafter around? And if there is, then it will continue doing recipe stuff.
Yeah, that's how it currently works.
Yep, and that's how it will work again.
Yeah.
I guess.
Okay. So we're going to execute as @e tag equals gm4 custom crafter tag equals armor.
Yeah, I figured we should move to tags, since you can name tag armor stands, which is really stupid.
I know, right? But yeah, I see your point. It does mean that we can.
You can have multiple tag checks in.
Oh, you can't downgrade a crafter anyway, can you? So
no.
Yeah, it should be fine then.
I mean, everything will be custom crafter, and then other
additional crafter tag.
Yeah.
Yep.
Execute
or
as
a score or something that can be overridden, or
if block, and then we're checking dropper, and then we're checking that the items are blank, right?
It's opposite. Yeah, so if it's...
Yeah, we're checking for not...
Unless it's empty.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Unless it's empty. Run function... recipe check. But it's not recipe check, it's like recipe validity check.
Yeah.
Which it sounds a bit messy, but... I guess it makes sense. Custom crafters recipe validity check. That should be it, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, we can try it. Let's create the file.
Oh wait. You forgot add us, but that's fine. We're good. We're good now.
New file. Recipe. Validity check .mc function. That's this one here.
Hello, Destiny cooling.
Welcome to the stream. No space after dropper says Mizot, and I think we fixed that, right?
Yeah, I caught that. Oh, but you also mentioned it. Hello.
There we go. You guys can see this file, right?
Yep, we can.
So we'll just go say hi.
Mech Pertata.
So if we now reload this, oh yes. Oh,
Will spam us.
it's going.
This will spam us. That's why you do particles.
Yeah, can we do particles?
Let's do a particle. Yeah, good idea. You guys got a good
Let me
particle?
cover that for you.
Yeah, you want to put it in?
Yep.
No! No! Androd better.
Let's have a look. Hi, Crothers. Custom crafters, indeed. No space after dropper. Yeah. Hey. Hi. Hello, everybody. Okay, so now if we have... It didn't do a thing. There was stuff in there, but it didn't do anything. Is there an error on the compiler? I should really get that up.
I don't see one. Also, compiler. There's an error.
I'm just getting that multi-craft.
Special, just change it to Androids, please.
What's happened?
I grabbed the old command block and it still uses the old particle name.
Oh, okay. Is that the problem then?
I think it is.
There, bam.
Okay. Why didn't you put that phantom on a team with the players? Because then it wouldn't attack the players. Obviously.
It's the Illuminati. They always watch you and they come to get you.
Have you reloaded?
Why is it on fire? What the heck? It's just... That's gonna end up being a disaster.
It's...
Yeah, they burn the daylight.
Oh.
Alright.
Okay. Have you reloaded?
/ reload.
I didn't say how do you reload, I said have you reloaded.
Oh, heh.
Still not working though.
Could it not load function? Oh, it's not saved.
Oh. Is it saved now?
Could be.
You're summoning the particle above it, right? No, you're summoning it in
Should
it.
be.
But it's got a high velocity, so it should flow out.
Yeah, there's nothing in there.
It doesn't have a high velocity. Okay, and also I fixed my little test thing.
Okay.
There we go.
I wish errors were a bit easier to
the
spot.
server IP is stream.gm4d.co, I think. Maybe. We'll find out. Try that, and if it's wrong, yell at me.
Stream.gm4.co sounds right. Unknown particle Minecraft red dust.
Just delete that? Didn't you? Already?
I changed it to Endrod.
Okay. Malformed JSON at line 1, column 1.
That's my thing. Ignore that. Go all the way down in the... It says it reloaded now. So if you go all the way down in the console. That was an old thing.
So the check is failing. It's definitely inside the dropper, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm putting say hi in there a second. To check it's definitely not the particle. It's definitely not the particle. So this function isn't being triggered by main. Tag is on stand. It definitely has the tag.
It should. You guys have a little test area now if you would like to make some crafters for yourselves.
Unless block dropper. Well, that works. If I just run it in the thing. Is the main function running?
It's running create and destroy. Fine.
Like if
Like
I
we
just
can
run...
create them. Execute as armor stands at themselves.
Why is it custom crafters not... Oh, I see. Yeah, that's fine. Custom crafters recipe validity check. It's here. Unknown function Minecraft custom... Oh, god damn it. Apparently it didn't actually... There we go. Hi. Why did I say hi? Oh, because it's doing it at, not as. So we need to do an at. Oh no, we're doing as and at already.
There is at, yeah.
Then what's the problem? The function can be run, and the execute works. Why? We don't have a desyncing issue again, do we?
I think so. Let me open it from my end and see if it's just... No, I see it from my end just fine.
Wait, what?
Did you run that whole command?
I ran the whole execute as at e tag equals Gamemode for crafter type equals armor stand at s unless block dropper items blank run function say hi. I did.
Yeah.
And that
Execute.
said hi as one crafter.
Yeah, block.
So it's finding it.
Something is weird with the product command in 1.13, by the way.
Oh, we just have our things wrong.
What's that?
This is checking for an empty list, so we're saying unless it's empty. This is checking for an empty crafter.
That's why I put if. You
Yeah,
changed
I
it to
know.
unless, but it should still
I
be
had it
running.
backwards.
It should still be running because one of these is empty, isn't it?
Well, one of them, if it has items in it, it'll run. Unless the block doesn't have items, which is if the block has items.
What?
Here. Should be running. Maybe. Because this one's empty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why do weird things keep happening to us? Items means not empty.
Oh, we did. Thank you, Masode. Okay, we changed both. I changed unless back to if, and then put the brackets. So first we were checking if it's not empty, and then we were checking if it's not empty.
But either way, we had one full one and one empty one, so it should have been doing something.
Well, there might be. What's validity check?
That's the function which will then check to see whether there's the same number in every filled slot. But... Huh. Okay, that's running.
What's saying test?
The main function. Just to check that the main function's running. But then why is it not running that line?
Maybe not actually in proper?
No, because I can run this whole first execute. In fact, what happens if I just actually run this whole thing, including the function?
I didn't get an output for that.
No, me neither.
It's in a dropper. If block itself dropper. What are we doing wrong?
But okay, the say command works.
As...
The say command works. The function command doesn't.
Is the function invalid somehow? Is it misspelled? Yes. You spelled recipe incorrectly.
I did. Ugh.
It's recipe. That is not recipe. There we go. That took too long to do.
Yes, it did.
Welcome to Code 4. Here we are professionals. Oh, yeah, it's good. I'm surprised it didn't say like unknown function in the output.
Yeah.
Usually it does that, I think.
It's still not outputting a particle though. I saved and reloaded.
Did you rename the recipe function, or did you change the function to be
40 blocks, Kirkis?
It's the limit of a actual tripwire hook. Oh, I guess that makes sense.
Misspelled. I think it's still misspelled.
Yeah.
Oh,
here I can.
Oh,
the actual
the
function name itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll rename it. Sorry, I thought the other thing was wrong. Recipe. There we go. I'll reopen it for you guys, in case you can't see it now.
Thank you.
Oh, man. There we go. Now the empty one is triggering, which is the opposite of what we want, but at least we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, I think we need to, now we just need to
change if to unless.
Yep.
Yeah, great. Okay, that was the that was the easy bit.
We're professionals. All right, so
count number of store number of full slots is next, right? Do we need a new scoreboard for this?
I don't know if there was already a main scoreboard somewhere. Isn't it? No, I didn't. We didn't add crafting.
So we need to add that as part of the init.
Why is there still a phantom?
It's just the Illuminati.
But like, why is it moving? The Illuminati just hides in the background. It doesn't touch.
Oh, let me fix that for you.
Okay, I'm adding the GM4 crafting scoreboard to the init file to the.
Do we want to rename it to something else
instead of GM4 underscore crafting?
Well, because it's going to be the which one's this? Trying to remember what this one's used for. Because we don't need to store the result into this scoreboard anymore.
I'm sorry?
Like we don't need to because we're not using stats. So the scoreboard is going to be for more of the money, or not money, number calculation. Hello, Boxic. Thank you. I'm assuming you're talking of Sparks and not me, but I'm going to pretend it nevertheless.
How about GM4 crafters?
I mean, we can name it crafting. I was just wondering what it would be used for, and would there be a better for it, if so.
Well, we still need to store the result of the data check, right?
What do you mean?
Like we're getting the length of the array of items in the dropper, right? And
Yeah.
then we're running that many times.
Yeah. So if that's like the thing, should we name that number, or should we name the scoreboard like dropper fullness or something? Crafter fullness.
Yeah, I guess we can do.
Hello, little man 9 Mewtwo. Yes, custom smelting and brewing are slightly trickier, just because of the amount of time it takes.
We tried doing custom brewing once, and it was for the Hermitcraft Gamemode 4, and it was not good.
Right, GM4 crafter fullness. Oh, name cannot be longer than 16 characters.
Yeah, that's no issue.
Crothers, what are you?
That's 28 characters long. No, it's not.
Why is it?
20
you can just mark it, Sparks, down at the bottom of your atom. It says how long it is.
Not for me, it doesn't. Oh, there it is.
It does.
I see it.
Let me fix that for you.
Abbreviations, though. Can we not just call it crafter? What else do we need to store on? What else do we need to read on crafters?
We need to store the amount, how many times we've done the crafting.
Yeah.
It just needs to be unique in the end.
Misode suggests craft count, and that seems to work. Can we not have this phantom? Just
craft count
middle of nowhere?
That sounds like the amount of... Craft count sounds like the thing that we store how many times we've executed the crafting recipe, though. That made sense.
Can we not use the scoreboard for both things? Oh, I guess we have to compare the amount we've done to the amount that we need to do. So we need two separate scores. Graph total.
That's a good one.
We're using that because we should be spending so much time coming up with scoreboard names. Craft total.
Also true.
Special, by the way, where did the Illuminati go?
I put him under the dome so he stopped burning, because arson's not great.
Oh, alright.
Craft total. So how do we get? We can use store, right? So it's
yes, store is beautiful.
Yeah.
Scoreboard.
So we store the length of the array into it. Hello, Hoodie 1505. It is going well for now, but the headaches have not started. So yeah.
Scale of 0 or 1? Scale of 1, I guess.
1. Scale of 1. It's just what it multiplies by. That's the NBT path it goes down. So for this, it would be just items.
It does not like that. Oh, do you just put items without any extra NBT?
Yeah.
Is that a lowercase I then or a capital I?
Capital I. It's the same as the NBT.
Where are you tapping, Sparks?
Oh, just in the Minecraft chat.
Oh, I thought my Adam freaked out.
Yeah.
No.
Oh well.
Can't get items,
Yeah, so,
only numeric tags are allowed. But I'm guessing that's just because we're not
What's
putting it
the
into
command you
scoreboard.
used?
Data get block.
Yeah, just post it in chat without the slash. No, it's just that. It's kind of weird the way it does. So it's like, so you know how like in the NBT is structured like items.
Yeah. Kind of like the slot names.
Yeah, so if this is the NBT, to get the slot number, I always capitalize the second T. Items sub-0 dot slot.
Okay.
So it's interesting. So it like nests it. So if you had like a display tag in there, so if it was items and then display, or I guess there's no numbers in display.
Hey Boxic, hey Little Man Mewtwo, hey Hoodie. Yes, but that's still not working. That gets me can't get items, only numeric tags are allowed. But I'm guessing that might act differently if we try and put it into a scoreboard.
Yeah, it should.
So how do we store that?
So execute store
right.
result or SULT result in score. Store result selector GM4 craft total. Yep, run data get blah de blah. Oh yeah, the reason your little man brings.
Do you mean at S?
Yeah, that's just the selector. I was in one time.
Okay, yeah.
Type it out.
Okay.
Yeah, little man points out that the reason you got the numeric thing is because you had the scale factor. If you didn't have the scale factor for just your data get, it would have just printed the data to chat, but it can't scale a compound.
It's okay. So now it's got me 2, which is correct.
Yeah.
So get rid of the scale. Gotcha. So that should work in here then. Execute store result score at S. Give for craft total run data get block. Okay. So
not -1, just itself.
oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, and that'll get the length of the array. Now we do some weird on stuff.
Now we need to check on each of them that all the
3
counts are the same.
Yep. Seems to be working. 1 9. Yeah, nice. Now how do we run this that many times best?
Well, this is not how many times we would want to run it.
Oh yeah, well, we have to run through every...
That's how many times we want to check if the counts are the same.
Yes.
Yeah, for the viewers, why are we even doing this? So, there's an issue that arises with the multi-crafting thing. That is, even in 1.13, as Special has taught me before the stream, we can't modify an array without either knowing all other components or deleting them. So, let's say you were to craft like a block of coal like this with the blocks, and you had a bunch of different item counts in here. So the recipe would go through and it theoretically could stop. We could do that it stopped when one of the items ran out and the recipe wasn't valid anymore. But the issue that arises now is there are still items in here. So once we want to put the resulting item in there, we would have to either know all the items that are in there or delete all of them and just place the resulting item. That's why we chose, just for simplicity's sake, will only allow an even amount of items over all slots to be craftable, which makes sense, to be honest.
Yep. So how do we get the scores position of an array's result? How do we drop a score into our test?
Say that again.
We have the length of the array. How do we read in a loop array entry n, the score, is count?
We'll have to do recursion.
Yep.
To loop through it.
So we're checking We're checking 9
until
slots.
We hit the craft total.
So it goes and it takes the correct the recipe isn't yet.
Yeah, but my point is, how do we know at which point in the loop we are? Like, I mean, how do we read loop number of array?
We'll have to hardcode it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So.
Oh, damn.
That's only 9 hard codes, and that's not that bad.
What happens if we try and read it and we exceed the length of the array?
Well, that's why we store the length of the array. So we go, if score
loop count is less than or equal to,
is 1, check slot 1. If score 2, check slot 2, etc., all the way down. So then, if there's only 3 slots to check, then we only check up to slot number 2, which is the 3rd slot.
Oh, do you mean like this?
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. That's cool.
Because that way we're not trying to check a slot that doesn't have anything in it and has problems, and yeah.
Okay. So execute if. Man, I still don't know all of these commands. I have to do them in here, so I have like autocomplete. Execute if score.
If score
S gm4 craft total.
I got you logs in the test room, by the way, even though the recipe doesn't work yet.
We can just do greater than. Did you say there was something about greater than or equal is better than, or worse than, ...
Blue.
Don't pick them up. Don't do it.
My computer is dying.
It's just 200 logs. I just wanted to give them.
My computer's actually dying.
All right, there you go.
Thank you. My fan just turned off on the computer.
And I thought you liked it when your fans were on you.
I mean, that is true, but
Huh? Oh, we have to compare. We have to include a counting score, I guess. No.
yeah, no, if score matches.
Right.
There, like that. Because then it just directly does the thing.
That's right, yeah. Total matches, then run. We are... Well, we have to get the count of the first array regardless, right? And this is going to only happen if there's at least one item. So So our first one should be different. This will be 2, but we need to just get the score of the count of the first item regardless, right?
Yeah. So if score is 2, store. No. Yeah.
Craft count.
Yeah, craft count.
We need a second. Yeah. So
we do need a
stack count. Stack count.
That's probably better.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, added that as well. So execute store result score at S GM4. What was it? Stack count. Run data get block. And then you're saying it's items 0.count.
Yes, that will give you the number that is the count.
Okay.
But only for the 0th entry,
yeah.
right?
Which we're going to use to compare all the others. So if the score matches at least 2, then we store the result of. We need a way of escaping this check, or like checking at the end that the numbers were never wrong.
If it's wrong, then I guess we can just set the stack count back to 0.
Yep.
So then the rest of them can't match it.
That's a good idea. Okay, so we need to do a compare, I guess.
So if the craft total matches up to 2.
How do we compare to... Do we need to set it to a...
Well,
Wait,
it's in
the GM4 underscore stack count scoreboard.
That's the count we're looking for.
Yes.
So we need to compare the result of an MBT check with a score.
Yeah. So then we're gonna store.
It's gonna be 2 commands per slot, is it?
We need a it's 2 commands per slot. Do we need another scoreboard then?
I think we
have
do.
to have a scoreboard. We need somewhere to store the number of items in the slot, and then we need somewhere to store the number of items in the first slot, because we can't compare counts to slots. We can use fake players, but then it's not going to work per module.
Then we need like an infinite amount of fake players if you have an infinite amount of custom players.
Well, actually,
GM4 underscore current underscore slot is exactly 16 long.
Although, if yeah, because they run in serial. So maybe we can use a fake player. Because each one's gonna run.
Are you sure they run in serial?
They should. They can't run in parallel. It doesn't do that.
Oh, this is gonna get weird.
Yeah. Okay. So we can store, instead of on its own stack count, we store it on
a
fake player, which is
stack count.
Stack 0 count.
Is there a limit on player name length?
No. Well, the actual username length, but that's ridiculous.
Special, do we need a GM4 underscore in the player name?
I would think that's a good idea.
Well, no, because it will be the only player under this scoreboard. No other module would use it. No other command device by someone else would use this scoreboard because it's got the GM4 prefix. So we don't need a GM4 prefix to, because it's already basically in its own like
okay, yeah.
in its own domain.
However, you can let's say
Yeah.
somebody. No, that's. You could do scoreboard players reset, and if we don't give it a TM4 prefix, somebody could accidentally reset the player, but that doesn't matter.
They would have to type it out. It wouldn't. I wouldn't autocomplete.
No,
That's true.
yeah,
Let's just
but
not
it'll-
use the TM4.
no, I don't think it's needed in this case.
Okay, yeah. Ender Stranger, we are using the old custom crafter using droppers because data pack custom crafting does not support NVT, which is really lame.
Which means we can't do trap signs, we can't do heart canisters, we can't do a lot of stuff.
We can't do anything with NVT. Like there's it limits it to basically nothing.
Yep.
So until we get NVT, we will be using custom crafters. Plus, custom crafters is still like the base for expandable things.
Yeah, and also
Like,
it can be
compressors
automated.
and stuff. Yes,
More than a
unlike
crafter can.
actual. Yes.
So yeah, we did discuss switching to just recipe data packs, but I think these are still better in some ways.
We would have had to do weird things where we're like testing if somebody crafted an item and then use a placeholder item that would then clear from their inventory and then give them the thing with NBT, and then it would like change slots in their inventory once they get it out of the crafting table, and it would.
And you wouldn't even be able to do that properly because you can't even name items that with datapack vanilla recipes.
Well, yeah, that. Oh, true. You're right.
So you can't even use a placeholder item except use like unused items like end portal frame, but then that would mess with other stuff and would limit it to a limited amount.
Yeah. Plus, if your system failed, suddenly they have an end portal frame. Oh no.
So we're gonna do execute if score at S, and then instead of matches, we're gonna do equals.
Masode, do you know if there is a? Because I know you can put an octothorpe or a pound sign in front of a fake player and it doesn't show up on a scoreboard. Does that also ensure that an actual player can't have that username?
That's a good point.
Oh, that's a good point.
In case someone's mad enough to call themselves first stat count.
I mean, to be fair, would that really do anything? Because it would still score that. It would still store to their name.
And
yeah, it doesn't matter at all.
It wouldn't have created a fake player because it already exists.
But then that player would have that score and everything would still work. Okay, no problem. We'll just...
In some cases, it might be an issue for like long-term storage of things.
No.
If the player logged out,
not
for
really.
example.
Because it would...
If he logs out, then it just stays.
You can store things to players that aren't logged in, which is how fake players work entirely.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I believe. Since it stores to username and not to UUID.
So now we're doing if the score of our S craft total is equal to the first stack count. First stack count.
Wait, what? Is that correct?
If
I'm getting confused
if
now.
at S's craft total score is equal to the first stack, the fake player's stack count.
It is equal to the score, equal to the number of items in the first slot.
Well, I guess it would be execute unless, right? And then we run and then set our craft total to 0.
Yeah, that sounds right. No, we set first staff count to 0.
Oh, yeah.
So then nothing else can match it.
GM4 stack count.
My advancement worked.
Your advancement worked. Nice.
I inserted it. It probably is misspelled, but that's fine.
Let me check.
Scoreboard players set first stack count.
On stack count to 0.
Yeah, that seems right.
Then.
Can you guys explain to me why we do this?
We needed to get
have to move
getting the first stack count. Oh right, the setting to first stack count to 0 is for later. We just want to get the first stack count so that for the other ones. So we want to run and then data store. So this is like a separate command.
No, that's in the same thing. We have to get the.
No, this is resetting the stack count to 0. This only happens if a slot contains a
that
number.
Happens if the two don't.
End, right?
That happens if the two don't match, which is what this line does.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
So we want to do.
So first,
this one up here.
We have to get the number in each slot into its score.
We need to get the We need to get the number of the first. Oh, that's. I was getting so confused. Yeah, we have the number of the first slot. That's our comparison.
Yes. So now we need to get the number in the second slot, if there is 2 slots. If score on itself of what's the scoreboard? Craft GM4.
Isn't this all one command?
No, we need 2, because one, we need to first pull the number out of the NBT and put it into a scoreboard, and then compare that number to the first slot's number. Right?
But in line 12, we compare the amount of items in the first slot to the amount
number
of total slots occupied by items.
Oh yeah, that should be stack count. Right? Yeah, so that should be stack count.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
And in the previous command we set stack or if there are so before this is we have to get the number. So if there are 2 slots, then store the result in score on itself. Store result score at S GM4 stack count. There's no scale factor for this, right? Yeah, no. Run data get block
items 1.
I cannot spell right now. Count. Right?
Yep. And then I guess we need the execute if again.
What? Where?
Here.
Oh.
Like that.
No, we probably don't have to, right?
No, I guess.
No, you're right. It would just check this. It would just check the last score. So if we didn't have it, it would just check. Like if there were 3 items in it, it would check
9 times.
Or if there's only 2 items in the dropper, it would check the second item 8 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I suppose is okay, but
not necessary.
Now we're going to.
Oh God.
Oh, this is like unrolling loops. Old processes.
3, 4, and then the item count at the end is changing as well. 5, 6.
I'm so glad we can like cooperate on this.
Nice. 7, 8.
Oh, I put 1 too many.
Yeah, there's only 8. So there's 0 to 8. Okay. So
but the length goes to 9.
So at the end of this line, if stack count is greater than 1, then we're good, right?
Horrible.
Yeah, you're right.
Because the length is 1 more than the iterator.
Yeah.
This is horrible, by the way.
This is mixing 1 and 0 count, 0 based counting. That's what it is. What's going on in the chat?
Not much. I think everyone's eyes or ears have glazed over.
Yeah, I know. It's a bit crazy.
That's the thing.
All right, so now
I'm gonna call that's the thing.
So at the end of this, if our first stack counts, if our fake player's first stack count is greater than 0, it's a valid recipe. It's a valid it's valid to be a recipe, even if it isn't a recipe. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
So I guess we can just do an if and then just like a particle, and then we can check to see whether we get particles when all of the items in a crafter are the same stack count.
Hi, Shovel. You are just as confused as we are. Trust me.
I am still finding 1.13 confusing. Maybe not confusing, just more like forgetting all of the different syntaxes, all the different things you can do. It's not score at S, it's GM for first stack count. Oh no, it's just first stack count. How do I get it to... If I press tab, it doesn't auto-complete my drop-down. It just tabs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it does it sometimes. GM4... where's the player?
Yeah, I fixed that misode. Thank you for pointing it out.
Damn it.
Stack attack. Bam. Let's go. First stack count.
Yeah.
What's this for?
To see if it's greater than 0.
Alright.
So, yeah, that's good. Then we run, and just a particle for now. Use that particle we were using before at the top. Get rid of the end rod at the top. And,
I just wanted to insert my redstone dust there.
Haha, it's broken.
Look at it, special. It's way more beautiful.
do you want to put your red dust
No,
at
it's
the top
disgusting.
instead? To say that it's...
No.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
No.
We'll have red dust here. There we go.
Oops. There we go. So if we reload now... We saved, right?
Let's check thing. Shovel is still not quite ready for the transition from 1.12 to 1.13.
Is anybody?
Yeah, is anybody? It took us some time to get used to it as well, then it took Special some time to explain to us how 1.13 worked. But
I
once
had
you learn
been
it,
trying
it's
to
really
keep
great.
up. So I had 6 months of learning without actually doing to understand things.
Well, the
And
bad
so
news...
it should be .2 because we don't want to check slots that don't exist.
Well, the bad news is it's not working.
Did we have any errors? No errors.
No, the particle command is
Okay.
still running. The red dust is still working to say that there's stuff in it. If I take the items out,
See,
it
my red
stops.
dust is working.
Yeah,
Red dust is great.
but it's not doing anything else. Do you want to check slot 3 if there are 3 or more items, says Mizode.
No, we only want to check sleeve if there are 3 or less items. Because if there's only 3 slots, we don't want to check slot 4. Because then that'll just give us errors.
Yeah,
and
that's
sadness.
correct. So something is going wrong with our maths. And unless we only have one crafter, this might be hard to see, because they're all using the same fake player.
What does chat say about this? Yeah, 1.13, well, you can do a lot more stuff. It's also way more compact from the line number, from the amount of commands. But the commands are way longer. So
Oh, hang on.
we can do a lot more modules with just a couple of commands, but those commands are longer. 1.13 is more powerful, but also more complex.
Why does one of these have a stack count of 1?
That might be one in the other room.
But what's it doing to get
Sparks?
that? No, because if I put one thing in here, it doesn't do that. It doesn't add 1.
Oh, wait. Oh. Wait, is stack count the amount of stacks in the custom crafter, or is stack count the amount of items in stack?
At the end of the calculation, it will either be 0 or whatever the stack count is. So 0 means that not all of the items were the same. Right? Stack count.
Yeah, it's in here. That is the current... There's a crafter in here that is full of oak logs. So if everything is oak logs, then If it's full, like all slots have 1 oak log, then it gets a score of 1.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird. Stack count. Oh.
If I put 2 in every slot, then I get a stack count of 2.
Doesn't that mean it's working?
But why are we not getting a part?
Yeah.
And why is it that if I put 2 in the first slot and 2 in the second slot, I don't get a score of 2?
Wait, do that again? Say the thing again. If you put what?
If I only have 2 items in there, but they're both a stack of 2, it should still be setting to 2 because we shouldn't be checking empty slots.
Yeah, that is accurate.
But it's only returning a stack count of the count if every slot has the same number in it.
Is our slot countered?
Did Miso correctly warn us and we misunderstood what he was saying?
I don't think so, because if there are 5 slots, we don't want to be checking the 6th one. You're checking 5 through 9. What?
5 through 9?
Is that 5 through 9 or 5 minus 9?
I'm really confused now. So slot counting in the array component counting starts at 0, right?
Yeah.
So it goes from 0 to 8. And 0, we've eliminated that, since it's a special case where we don't need to do any counting.
Line 5 is working. We're getting the total number of items in the crafter as the score.
Is it total number of items or total number of slots?
Total number of
it should be
slots
total number
filled
of
with
slots.
items. Yeah. So if I put another 2 in like this, it shouldn't change from 2.
Okay, yeah. I see.
Something's wrong though.
What? It's checking 5. Where is it checking 5 through 9?
Needs to be m dot dot and dot dot m.
First stack count.
Oh, was what Miso is saying that we should change dot dot 2 to 2 dot dot?
So if this, oh yeah, no, because if it is at least 2, but can be more than 2, we're checking it. If there's at least 2 slots filled, then we check slot 2. So I think that is right.
How do I edit multiple lines special?
Control to add multiple cursors.
Oh. Ooh, cool.
That... I'm still wrapping my head around this, to be honest.
Okay, so if we want to check slot... No, I see what you mean, because it shouldn't affect the next line. Because that'll say that we only check this if there are at least 2 or more recipes. Yeah, because that's true. Because if the craft total, the number of slots is 5, and we do dot dot 2, then that's saying that if the number of slots is less than or equal to 2, then we check. Whereas this is saying that 5, which is 2 dot dot, means that we are allowed to check this, because 2 is less than 5, which is the total number of slots that have things in.
So our number should be reversed then.
Are you looking in the code right now? This is now correct, probably.
Yeah.
Probably
yeah. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. I see now.
Okay. Let's try reloading.
Gotcha.
I'm confused now, but that's fine.
I see. Okay. So Blue, what we had was we were only checking, like if there were 2 slots, we were only checking. If there were 2, we had it. So yeah. So if there were 2 slots filled, everything matched dot dot to their number. So we were checking all of the slots.
Oh.
Which don't exist. whereas it should have been 2 or more. So like for slot 5, or yeah, slot number 5, if there are only 3 filled, 3 is not 6 or greater, and therefore it won't check slot 5. Okay. Thank you, Miss Sode, for being smarter than us.
It still doesn't do the thing where if having multiple stack counts, it should return to 0.
For a stack count, it should return to 0.
Yeah, but is it? It's hard to see with so many custom crafters on site.
Can we just delete all the crafters except 1? For now.
Yep, I will disable the testing room, and we will destroy all of the players' hard work.
Sorry, guys.
Now you've destroyed my work, Sparks.
What'd you do?
I filled this with a bunch of different stack counts.
We appreciate you.
There's one more. Oh no, there isn't. Okay. 3.
You guys might be stuck in here. Just saying.
Why is it returning 3?
What is... What?
Why 3?
Wait, what is it?
I mean, the final stat count is 0. That's the important thing. But I don't know why stat count is 3. I'm taking these things out, sorry. If our final stat count should now be 1, now it should still be 1, now it should be 0, now it should be 1, oh, now it's 2. Okay, that's the number of matches. So now it'll be 0, now it'll be 3. What? Why is... Oh, it's 2 because that's the count, I guess. So this will be now 3. This will be 0 because it's no longer a match. Now it's 4.
And now 4.
Yeah, okay. So I think it's working.
It's working. Woohoo!
So it was working, we just couldn't tell because the output is cleared after each command block is... Only if the last crafter is checked will we see... We only see the output of the last crafter in the scoreboard.
Gotcha. Aha.
So why is the particle command not working?
Good question.
If score first stat count...
Matches.
GM4 stat count...
Is it inside the crafter and we just can't see it?
Quite possibly.
Yeah,
oh my god, special!
Oh, come on.
I'm sorry.
See, special. That's fine.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's working now.
Is it? Is it? Reload. It doesn't seem... Okay,
I just did. I didn't save. Now do it.
It's already got the things in it that should be valid.
I see. Open the
oh, now it's inside. Now it's inside the little crafting table.
Set it to 1.
I have to set it to greater than 1. Okay, it was at 1, but 1 is directly on the surface of the crafter.
Okay, cool. Valid recipe. Invalid recipe.
Woohoo!
This is so cool, by the way.
Nice.
I'm pretty proud of this.
Okay, nice.
People
can have their crafters back now if they want.
We all agree, Element. Jeez is correct.
Jeez.
That is correct response. You are a valid human being.
That wasn't me thinking I should drop a dropper on it. That was me throwing the wrong item. Oh, I made the clever crafting advancement. Nice.
The advancement tree is still a bit weird, special. We need to get that advancement.
Yeah, I will do that because my calculus won't work.
Okay, so we've determined that some of these crafters have valid recipes, so that we would then give them a score to say they have a valid recipe. That's the point. We
probably a tag, I think.
Yeah, but then we have to remove the tag off every single dropper. I suppose we have to set the score to 0 of every single dropper if we used to score. So yeah, I guess we need to. At the start of this check, remove.
The crafter has a stack count score that says.
How many times?
Oh wait, no. So maybe we should change.
Oh, maybe we should move this to its own score then.
one. No, I think we can reuse one of these.
Yeah, we just set it to like 100 or something.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, even
or
though
set it
this
to 0
would
if
work,
it's invalid.
even though this would work, maybe we want to move the first stack count that we determine in line 35 to the stack count score of @s, just for neatness.
Yeah.
I mean, we can keep it in there; it will work, but still.
Yeah, I think the stack count that we've been using to iterate through the entire time at the end should be set to what the number of items that will be crafted at the end.
Yes.
And then hang on. If we run a function to trigger all of the expansion modules from this file, won't we run it? Won't we run the function once per crafter? How do we run it once?
What do you mean? We can run it once per crafter.
That's fine.
What's wrong with running it?
You want to run the expansion once per crafter? I guess we can. Yeah, that's true. Otherwise, the expansion would have to rework out. In which case, we don't need to store any kind of validity because we'll only be running the function off valid crafters. So we don't need to actually store any kind of count saying it's valid. In which case,
we should keep the
line 30, line 35 that you're writing right now is probably not needed.
Keep the part. Should we copy the fake player score to its own score?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because it's way neater and it helps.
I guess it tells it how many items to make. And I guess we need that number.
Although, is operation better than store and get, right?
I think so.
Okay. Probably. That's what it's meant for.
Can't we just use craft total to say how many items we need to make? Or is that...
craft total is something else.
Craft total is something else.
That's how many stacks there are.
Maybe we should rename that.
Maybe we should rename these scoreboards.
Stack total to slot count.
Yeah.
Okay, I will...
slot count. You're doing a find and replace in recipe validity check.
No, I'm removing the scoreboard from the actual server.
GM4 craft underscore total changed to GM4 slot count. Yes?
But no.
Yeah. Stack count still exists. Or...
But we need a craft total scoreboard, because right now in craft total there was the number called first stack count. And that was how many times we want to execute the crafting recipe, so craft total was kind of right in that case.
What?
We have stack count.
No.
Stack count is for the number
stack count is
number of slots that are filled.
Yes, but at the end of this function, we get
stack
a number.
Count is the number of items
in a stack.
Yes. So count. Stack count is the number of items that the recipe will output at the very end.
And then craft total is the number of slots that have items in.
Yeah. Can we change it to stack size, please, then?
Okay.
Because stack count sounds like the amount of stacks.
Okay, well, I'm going to change craft total to slot count.
Okay.
And then
I'll go to the init and change
stack count.
Slot.
Stack count will become stack size.
Stack size, okay.
Then special, take a look at line 36. Where will we store this, logically?
Just on itself. on its own. Store.
But in stack size, right? And on slot
Yeah, in
count.
stack size. Because previously we had been using stack size as an iterator through each thing. I'm doing drastic hand motions and you're not seeing any of it. This is great.
First stack count, stack size.
Those names make more sense now.
It does.
What are you hooligans up to?
Well,
Why you're trying to make auto moderator go to heaven? We have a button for that.
Where's auto
William
moderator?
says, frankly, I think
Going to
the
heaven
coding is
now.
really clever here.
Sorry?
Trust us, William. We are equally confused about this.
I'm so excited that we're going to finally have multi-crafting.
Oh yeah, players will like it.
Okay,
so we got this now.
Toffee, careful with levitation. It sometimes glitches out on servers and in 1.13.
what's this scoreboard player set
There's
on line
a 37? Button backstage for
Not
that.
required.
Okay, so now we
That's
just run a function. Now we run a custom. Now we run the custom crafter function tag.
Yes, something like that.
Um,
Yes, little man, the server is public. The IP is stream.gm4d.co. I think. I said this earlier.
.com it is.
Would that be... No, it wouldn't be a Minecraft function. It's a GM4 function. GM4 colon crafter underscore expansion. Something like that, right?
Where are you tapping?
Line 37 of recipe validity check.
This would be a... What type of tag should it be? Should it be a custom crafters or a...
It would be a custom crafters Gamemode 4 function tag. Which should
we want it in
still
the
be
Gamemode
valid
4?
if this isn't the main clock. Because that's how we do all the other tags.
Yes.
Yeah, tags add if you tell them to.
Yeah.
Whereas everything else overwrites.
Yeah, which is thank goodness for that, right?
Yeah.
It's a little counterintuitive, but I don't care because it works. Telegraph it's to run expansion.
But then it needs to be an execute if here, right?
Where the heck do you? Oh.
Yes,
down
you're
there.
right. Execute if first stack count size matches one or more. So we have like 3 layers of security here in terms of performance. The first is only executing on crafters that have something in them. The second is only executing on crafters that have all the items matching the count, including a system which stops all of the checks if any item is found not matching the stack.
That's just a side of the thing, though.
Well, I think we did that partially intentionally, right? So if
sure, we'll go with that.
If slot 2...
Just tell everyone it's intentional.
If the second slot has... If the second slot does not have the same count as the first slot, then all the other checks are skipped. Right? Which is nice. So that's a nice performance improvement there. And then only things that match all of those criteria will then trigger the expansion functions. And then the expansion function can check to make sure the crafter is of the right type before continuing.
Yeah. So, did we want to use this as a Gamemode 4 tag or as a # custom crafter :expansion pack?
Can we do it as a custom crafter expansion tag?
They're both possible.
It would mean that every expansion pack would have to have a Minecraft folder, a Gamemode 4 folder, a master crafting folder, and a custom crafters folder, right?
Yes.
Trying to think in terms of site
craft.
merging, which is going to be easier.
But
I think I'm...
Are you able to just like take multiple folders? Because like the module itself would be like in most cases is the custom crafter or is like the better fire folder or the potion source folder.
Yeah.
Is it possible just to upload 2 folders and have it put both of those in?
But keep in mind, if I understood what you're saying is that if we do it this way, every expansion will need to have a folder of every other expansion that exists.
No, it'll just have a folder called GM4 Custom Crafter.
Yeah,
which
it'll
will
have
define its tag, kind of like we have a Game Mode 4 folder which defines modules as Game Mode 4 modules.
So
I think we should have a folder
each
for each one, a Custom Crafter folder for each expansion. Simply because merging it on the site is going to be easier, because I can just say merge the Game Mode 4 clock base with all the folders included with this uploaded thing. So yeah, I'd say make it a folder.
Yeah. So Blue, the each expansion pack will have a custom crafter namespace that just says add my functions to this expansion pack tag. So when the custom crafters runs the expansion pack tag, every expansion pack that's installed will run. Do you want me to add this directory?
Are we putting a sample recipe in with the custom crafter base, Ben?
Not with the base, but we can make a...
We're making a new module
and here's
folder.
Another good question. Do expansion packs need the Game Mode 4 base?
Ooh. They need... Yes, for initialization. Or do they need to be initialized? Because they... I guess if they have to define scoreboards and things, they need to.
I guess some expansion packs do have main functions, like heart cans.
Yeah. If it's just a recipe check, it probably doesn't need installing at all. But do players expect it to say, checking for updates, master crafting is now enabled?
Well, I think we want updates for expansions, right?
That is also true.
I think it should have a Game Mode 4 folder. Most of them won't need it. Most of them won't need it except to say that they've been installed, but
I mean, things like heart cans and compressors probably will, because they have their own clock and everything.
Yeah, they'll need it. But like standard crafting, the only thing I think it will need the Game Mode 4 folder is for to tell people that it has been added, that it's like live on the server.
All right. So next thing, what should we name this new tag? Because it'll be custom crafter : and it shouldn't just be expansion pack because it's recipes, so it should be like recipe pack, recipe expansion recipes, expansion recipe.
Well, like I don't think we need to call it. I don't know if we need expansion in that name. I guess like something like recipe check? Because this is a recipe validity check. So maybe just recipe check?
So that's just recipe check? Okay.
Yeah.
See if I gotta spell recipe right. RECIPE. Recipe check.
Custom.
Should it be plural?
No. Keep it singular. Just...
Alright.
Otherwise we're gonna mess it up.
Something might have one recipe.
Okay. There is now a file.
Oh, it's...
with proper name.
Custom crafters. Yeah, function...
Yeah.
Custom crafters crafter expansion. Is it hashtag custom crafters crafter expansion, or is it custom crafters : hashtag crafter expansion?
Hashtag at the front.
Okay.
That's what classifies it as a tag.
So now we can either just put a temporary recipe check file in here, or create a new data pack.
I mean, we have to learn how to do that, so...
It shouldn't take too long. Hashtag soon. TM.
I will...
Considering how much we struggled with that expansion pack creation the other time.
I will...
I think it may be unintuitive, but I don't care. It works. Might be the mother of the stream.
I love that Crash
William
Bandicoot
says,
is watching us stream.
William says, I think it may be unintuitive, but I don't care. It works. Might be the mother of the stream.
I mean, you're not wrong. I just finished uploading a data pack called Standard Crafting.
Okay.
To which Toffee says, this is really sounding like an XKCD comic.
If that is not what we're doing, then we have failed.
Invalid_pack.mcmeta?
That's just so it doesn't register until you rename it.
It's just special tag. It's just special tag for preventing the server from reading the pack.
Yeah. I didn't just want to like put like an underscore or something. I put invalid so it was clear that this is invalid, fix it. Or something.
And then template is what will become master crafting.
Custom. Yeah.
Oh, so yeah,
Are you
we'll go with
things?
standard crafting, I guess, for the first one.
Yeah. So we don't have to worry about crafter upgrading.
Yeah.
I only have like 20 more minutes, by the way.
Okay.
Just letting you.
But we also need
I
a
have
new
a-
folder called...
It's fine. We'll have this finished soon.
Once again, motto of the day.
Need a new
Spark,
custom
can you
focus.
load? Can you load the file, Sparks? Because that would be good.
Load what file? The pack.
The one
pack?
special created.
Well, he created a
Which
new
one's that?
folder, a standard crafting folder.
Yeah.
I see.
So
Never mind.
We don't have anything open.
I need to rename template to standard crafting. And then functions. You can view these.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so
This
in the
one-
custom crafter base, there is an empty recipe check function tag.
This one. And this one. What was that?
Special.
Sorry?
What's the module ID gonna be?
Standard crafting.
Then on the game mode 4 tags, functions. These two need to be changed. This one here. And this one here.
It's without a game mode 4 underscore, right?
Yeah.
Say that again? Oh, yeah.
And then
It's standard
you're
crafting
right.
without the game mode
under
4
the new
standard.
custom crafters folder. Oops. I create a functions. Oh no, it's tags, not functions.
Tags and then function.
Yeah. Oh dear. I think I'm getting FTP issues again.
I think it's because we're all editing things,
Oh dear.
which is a mistake.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I'm stuck. I can try closing my FTP and reopening it, but I think I'm gonna have to restart Atom.
You should just be able to FTP remote disable. So packages FTP remote toggle, and that'll shut down FTP, and then when you reopen it, it should work. Because that'll clear your cache. I think.
Nope.
Did it break more?
Yep. Well, no,
Just-
it's just exactly the same as before. It
Just
remembered
keep
where I
fixing
was.
stuff around the place.
I can close the tab.
So it's not uploading for you, right?
Nope. I need to close and reopen. Atom. So
Mizzo told us how to fix that once.
really?
Yeah, I'm summoning Mizzo now. Disconnect, reconnect to the FTP remote might work.
But I
Just like turn on and off your internet.
I think toggling is just hiding and showing it, rather than actually
Oh, for me,
disconnecting
it shuts down and asks me to insert my password again.
Oh, really? I don't
Yeah.
have any kind of exit option. I only have toggle.
Oh, you need to disable
Yeah.
FTP remote. Right?
Oh, like actually disable?
I think.
That's annoying. I'd rather just restart, to be honest. Packages.
Where did Dayton go? He found your favorite spot. Oh, that's a nice spot, Dayton.
Disable, enable.
Little lava. Whilst Box is on re-enabling stuff, I will...
Okay, it's working.
Do new module name stuff.
Okay.
Standard crafting. The weird issue with our systems is that we have weird double standards sometimes, because most of the times we add GM4 underscores, but sometimes we don't add them, just not add them because they aren't needed. Yeah. Sparks, did you just close all your tabs?
Yeah.
You restarted, Adam.
I don't think these are live tabs to... No, I don't think these are live tabs to the FTP anymore. I think they're only saved locally. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I can't see any tabs anymore.
I've closed them all. I'm going to have to reopen them. But I don't think they were server tabs anymore. I think they were local tabs. If that makes sense.
Might be.
You cached it too much.
I think when it disconnected, they saved like to my computer rather than to the FTP. What was it? What are we doing? Standard crafting. Standard crafting.
Yes.
Data. Do you want me to open all those things again then?
Yep, would be great.
Standard crafting init. Oh god, they're not opening. Oh, init won't open. What? 2 of these will open and 2 won't. Main and init won't open. I need to restart Atom. This is...
I'll put it this way, Sparks. It feels unintentional, but it doesn't work either.
I can't open 2 of these 4 files. Sorry, I'm gonna have to restart it.
Alright.
Have you tried? I don't know if I don't have your the visuals of the stream up. Do you have Have you tried at the very top of the FTP remote panel? If you close the main folder and then click it again, it gives you a little spinning icon, and the logs, at least my logs, say that it like reloads.
Yeah, that's what
directories.
fixes it for me. That's what fixes those issues for me. But Sparks said it doesn't for him.
Here's your new URI at URL.
Where is it? Here it is. Adam is like a weird workaround, but it kind of works, and sometimes weird stuff happens. Oh, what's up here?
Do you have any files open, Sparks?
Nope.
Or not yet?
I'm getting there.
Okay. I was just wondering if I had died.
Okay, nope. Data. Alright, let's try this again. Standard crafting, functions. Here we go. Init. Init check. Main.
Welcome to the server killer, awesome 89.
There we go. I'm gonna start replacing module IDs with
Tags, functions.
Oops.
Recipe underscore check. You've already created that one. Thanks, special.
Yeah, I did that while you were faffing about.
Load.
Your darn FTPs.
Tick. That's weird. The Minecraft tags load and tick are just GM4 load and GM4 tick? Is that right?
The GM4 ones should be that. The GM4
functions
should be the namespace one.
Oh yeah, I see. Update and tick.
Standard underscore crafting. And
nothing in GM4 should be updated except for nothing in Minecraft should be updated And the only things in GM4 that should be updated are advancements and the function tags.
I think I did advancements already. Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did that one.
Yep.
Okay, now on to actual stuff.
Under main. But this doesn't need a main.
Well,
doesn't
this
even
one
need a
doesn't,
tick.
but
I think it needs a tick, because otherwise it doesn't. Oh, now we're in a weird situation where we have a module that doesn't even need a tick.
Yeah.
It's
we don't need a main, we don't need a tick, we just need a load.
That's probably what the creators of radio-controlled watches thought. Now we have a watch that doesn't need to check the time itself.
Yeah. For some reason, init check is spinning for me. What did you say? You click the little spinning arrows?
no. If you go to the very top folder, which for me I've labeled is GM4 streams.
Yeah.
If I close the entire file directory, so it's just got an arrow pointing sideways into the folder that says GM4 streams, and then I click the arrow again to open up the whole directory,
Right.
it gives a little spinning arrow saying it's like refreshing everything,
Okay.
which works for me most of the time.
Seems to have
You
worked for
still
me
have
now.
work on your head.
Okay, so we've got our new custom crafters. We've got the custom crafter with the tag in it, which says that we are running recipe check. And then under standard crafting functions, we have not got the recipe check file
I wasn't
yet.
sure what to name that.
Well, you've literally called it recipe check in
Yeah,
JSON.
I wasn't sure if that was probably maybe best, but recipes might also work.
What do we call it under the
The tag is called recipe
Recipe
check.
check.
Should all the functions it called also be called recipe check?
Yes.
Yes, I guess so.
Okay, sounds good.
Recipe, spelling recipe right this time, underscore check.mc function. That's this file here.
Okay, and this is where we put recipes.
How are people doing in chat?
They're
It is-
doing things. Toffee's
is
wreaking
standard
havoc.
crafting.
They are fish, and people aren't seeing their hands. We're doing good.
Okay.
The server is not on fire yet. People are still seeing fish.
Okay, so at this point, we already have the count for how many times the recipe should be run. So I guess all we need to do is check the recipe shape without count, and if it matches, replace it with the item that is the result of the thing, multiply by, like, the item with the count it should have multiplied by the number of times it says we should run it for. But we also need to check. We only need to check whether the multiplication will be greater than 64 if it outputs 2 items, right? So for a simple recipe, we don't even need to check that at all.
Yeah.
So if we do
That is correct.
logs to coal, that should be a pretty simple one, right?
But can we do one that does?
Can we
We should do both.
Can we for now
Yeah.
do logs as if it outputs 2 coal blocks?
Yeah.
You want to do
Just
that
as a
before
test.
we check that this... Do you not want to test just one item first?
No, we want to test.
Okay, good point. Good point. Valid point. You are valid.
Let's get that working first and then add the other checking.
I have 10 minutes. Let's do this.
Oh god, I see your point. Right. At s equals custom crafters.
Custom crafted that should do stuff.
Oh, you know what? Before we even check the recipes, we need to check if the craft... We need to only run this function on crafters with the tag for this crafter. So this is more like a crafter check than a recipe
This one's fine. This one can be fine because this one is on a standard crafting table.
Oh, that's true. So it'll work on it.
But
Works on everything.
So in expansions, we would in recipe check go execute if entity at s tag equals whatever the crafter is.
Run function.
Run function.
Yeah.
Recipes.
My recipes, and then my recipes does the same thing that this recipes will do.
Okay.
all the way down.
Do standard crafting things currently work in all crafters?
Yes.
Okay.
They do.
Well, they don't work in things like compressors.
Yeah.
But for the case of when you upgrade a crafting table to some other thing, we can always just remove the crafting table tag.
Yeah, the custom crafter tag.
And use the recipe purely as the upgrade, how to build it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So we have one recipe that handles construction of the compressor, then it ends its existence as a custom crafter, and begins a new life as a compressor. And custom crafters no longer has anything to do with it, and they're now X's. And there are many songs written about it, and it's a great epic.
Okay, so execute if block.
Did we want to... Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. We're just testing one for now. Getting ahead of myself.
Execute if...
Yeah, little man,
stop hailing Blink, Toffee.
That's the Illuminati. They just stay above you and watch you. Little man, don't worry about them.
Block dropper. Can we still do some cool things to just get this code for us? Otherwise, we're going to have to type it out by hand.
You've got to type it out by hand, but I can do that for you if you want.
Okay. ID. Oh, okay, I'll let you do that, yeah. If that is the case, then...
Oh no.
What?
Oh no. I don't think vanilla has a lock.
It does, but not... It does, but not in NBT.
Also, we can't...
Oh no.
We have to check every log separately anyway because a different kind of output happens. Oh no, it doesn't, does it? Oh, it doesn't in NBT.
It doesn't have a different type of... Yeah, which if we could do this, it would be nice.
Problem.
But, yeah, so to get around this, I think we should just hard code the 6 types of logs.
Okay. So if
and have all of them have to match. There's a lot of people that really want tags.
But special, I hear people saying, "Why can't you use this?"
That's bark. I know it's really sad, and it's annoying, but it's what we have to do. Until we can get function tags in NBT, then we can add them all to some big wood pile and allow it. But I think bark is okay to not have.
One thing, we do actually need to run several commands here because we have to change the count separately, right? To match the score, like data merge it.
Yes. So I think we should just
test
set
whether this line works. 1. Sorry?
So first we should do it like we did before. Where we test each slot with the item, and then if that's true, put a single item in the output slot. So it's the only item in the dropper.
For testing purposes, just do one log block equals 1.
Sure. Sounds good.
Okay, yeah, we can just do that first. So run data merge block.
What Box is writing this? For the people wondering what happened to Shroomites, our module from last week and the week before last week. Check it out on YouTube if you haven't seen the stream. Shroomites is doing great. Me and Special will have to do some weird lag busting, but it took 5 days of being loaded to completely overtake a 96 by 96 area.
Okay, that does it. That just outputs a call block with a count of 1 in slot 8. We want to put things in slot 8 still, right?
But that just does it once, right?
It doesn't have to be in slot 8.
You just asked me to do it, so it only does one.
But let's say we have 64 in there.
Yeah, but you just asked me to do it, so it does one. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We need to run a second command to then change the count of that to the score.
We can't just insert the score into the NBT. We have to set it to some arbitrary number, in this case 1, and then in the next command store how many should be there on top of it.
The problem is we do need to somewhere store whether this command succeeded, right? Or do we first? I think we may have to check all recipes, and if any of them succeed, we can then set the count, unless they have a different multiplier, like a different output count. But unless we can't run another thing here, can we?
Well, in case we wanted to do more recipes, you could always just move them to their own functions.
Yeah, I don't know. So first we just put the item with the right ID in, but then we have to separately merge the count, but only if this works, only if this recipe works.
We'll have to do...
So...
effectively a success count. Check.
Not necessarily. No. No, you're right, yeah.
Kind of. So we'll have to do...
maybe?
We need like a recipe succeeded player or score.
We don't need a player, we just want a function here, another.
Oh yeah, to run both. You're right.
And then
we're gonna have a function per recipe.
We could use the store success, which is like the old success count but better.
Then we have 3 commands per.
That's okay.
Isn't having a function and then moving it into a function also a great idea?
It would
like
make
that's
loading
that's
slower.
one function per recipe, and that load time skyrockets. Well, not skyrockets, but it goes up.
By how much? Because I think running it as a function is a good idea if there aren't too many recipes. Like most modules don't have many recipes anyway. The biggest one was equivalent exchange. And we've already lost our pulse and main functions.
Well,
they still need to be in there, right?
So the only reason that a function... because we're not resolving any selectors in this at all. So that benefit of branching to functions is gone, right? And that's like one of the main benefits besides the logic structure, I believe, right?
It just, I guess so, yeah. I suppose if we do the first
one,
you can add a custom tag to the item in the 4th slot. What?
We'd have the base module set the count and then remove that custom tag. Only one command per recipe.
Well, we don't have modify items, so I don't think you can add a custom tag to an item without overwriting it. Plus, we don't know the reason the base module can't set the count is because it doesn't know if there's a multiplier in the recipe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I see what he's... okay. So what Masoda's saying, that's actually kind of smart. I like that. So, here we go. Ready?
That's cool.
Ready for this?
Count 1.
So,
that's really cool.
You encode the multiplier into the item itself.
I really like that.
Okay, and then after you've done all the recipe checks, you read that as a number, and then multiply the
back in the custom crafter, you pull that number out, multiply by the store, set that number into the only item in the custom crafter, and then you can use data remove, because there's only going to be one item in that custom crafter, so we don't have to worry about slot weirdities. Yep. Go to the 0th item in the slot and remove that custom tag. There we go. Masodi, you're a genius.
That's pretty cool. I like that.
Where's Masood?
So that's... Oh, wait.
It would go in the output part.
Yeah. Yeah. Tag.
It's really cool.
GM4 crafting multiplier. Is that a good?
I don't think there's a limit on tag length, so sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
So in this case, it's 1.
Yeah.
That's just a multiplier for having one block turn into 2 output items, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Or in this case, just 1.
Just 1
Yeah.
in this case.
Okay.
And
So
we
after
can
we've
do
done
it
all the checks, there'll only be 1 item in the crafter if it succeeds. So we can check to see whether the item in the last slot of the crafter has the tag. And if it does, then we know one of the recipes succeeded, right?
Yes.
Yes, and now we need to tell the base that
Can
it should extract
we
that.
check? Can we check for the presence of a tag easily?
If entity MBT equals. Oh,
Yeah,
just the
but we'd have to
presence.
give it an exact value.
Maybe add another tag.
No, here, ready.
Just a boolean. That's what we did with metallurgy. We have a second tag that is Shamir.
We can do this. We can make the custom tag a compound.
So there's crafting multiplier dot value and crafting multiplier
cool.
dot multiplier.
So, yeah, or dot value. I put dot value. So then, if we want to check if there's an output, we just check for a custom crafter that has the last item that has crafting GM4 crafting multiplier : open bracket close bracket. Because that compound does exist, it will succeed.
Can we reorganize this
Yeah.
a bit though and call it GM4 custom crafting and call the content of the compound multiplier?
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'm really pushing my time limit here. Do I really need to eat dinner tonight? My stomach yes. Okay.
Food is important. Potatoes, would something not work like if entity MBT GM4 set count?
Stuff in NBT is not.
Stuff in MBT, you can't do that dot in MBT. Now we need to tell the base that it's supposed to do stuff.
Wait, why does the base have to do it?
Because that way we don't have to put it after every one.
Yep.
We can put it... I guess it wouldn't go at the end of every expansion, but it could go at the bottom of this anyway. But yeah, I see what you mean. Get the base to apply the multiplier.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I didn't even... I heard like part of it and I thought that was cool, but that's also a really good idea.
Yeah.
Sparks can just open the base function.
Custom craft. Yeah, can you open custom crafters recipe check something? Whatever that one is.
GM4 custom crafters data custom crafters functions. Which one is it?
The one that's recipe check something or something recipe
validity check. This one.
That one, yes. So then after all of the expansions through the recipe check, then we do this thing.
Don't we run a new function? Whoa!
We don't have to run it.
Why did you delete that?
I moved it to recipe validity check.
Will it just continue? Because it'll branch off to do this, and then it'll come back to the other function. Oh my god! This just keeps getting better.
Yes, agreed.
Oh my god.
So then, if we don't want to check the slot because the output doesn't have to be there, but it'll be the only slot in there
with the tag.
Yeah.
So people could even put... This does limit us to
one item
per recipe. Like one slot full of items.
Well,
but I think that's okay, right?
Yeah, if we wanted a second item, it would just have to be in a slot past the first one that's stored, and it wouldn't have a fancy count. So if it was like a bucket, we could return a single empty bucket, which is kind of lame. Although they could only put in one bucket to begin with, so that's fine.
Yeah.
We don't have to worry about that case.
Nice. Okay.
Haha.
Custom.
Because that's the only thing I could think you'd want to return an item.
What is chat thinking about this?
Chat's doing stuff.
I can't see my hands. Oh no, I can.
Custom crafter. If that exists, then
we are running on more.
We take that value.
We are running this on all crafters though, instead of just ones with a valid recipe.
I will fix that. Don't worry.
Okay.
What? Are you copying that? You're copying that to a new function?
He's just sticking that in front of that.
Oh. Okay.
Yep. So
do we want? We could branch off to another function here because we're doing some more stuff.
Yeah, I would.
All right.
Apply multiplier.
What should I call the function?
Apply multiplier.
Or count set. Because it's not just applying the multiplier. Because if the multiplier's 1, then I guess it's still applying. Set
apply multiplier. Apply multiplier at MC function was added. Sparks, you got to open that.
Okay.
You might have to refresh your functions.
Yeah, I've opened it.
There it is. Okay, so then watching the minutes tick down. Oh no. I don't want to miss anything. This is too fun.
Is this something you want to go to or something you have to go to?
Well, I have to go to a thing in half an hour, but I should eat before then.
Okay, right.
Just eat at a place. That's what I do at uni.
I'll be in uniform. I can't do that.
I need...
God damn it, I'm clearly typing on that line. You're also locked to my cursor right now, I think. There you go.
Freak.
Okay, so the last thing...
now we need to apply the multiplier.
So we read the multiplier into a score board.
Yes.
And then multiply it by this other score the entity already has from earlier. Oh boy. How does this work? Which again can just be a player, right? We don't even know if this bit is working. Like if the log bit is working, it will work.
Execute store. Result. Where do we want to score? Where do we want to store this? In temporary scoreboard place?
We can put it on a player, can't we? We can like the first stack count player.
We can do the same player trick.
Just call it stack multiplier.
Stack multiplier, you say?
Yeah. And then I guess we can use the same scoreboard just so that they're next to each other, which is gm4 underscore stack underscore size.
Stack multiplier, stack size.
Run. Data. Get.
Yeah. Data get.
What's the path?
Block. And then.
Tilde. Items
zero dot tag dot custom crafting, gm4 custom crafting.
Yeah, gm4 underscore custom underscore score crafting.
Oh, there's a gm4 in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do with having a second tag. That's just one B. But I think this is way neater to work with having it be a compound.
This is crazy. I love it.
Agreed.
So this gets the multiplier into a score. Then we just use a scoreboard operation, right?
Yeah.
It's
Scoreboard operation or players.
It's at S's stack size that we're using.
Times equals, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so then after we're gonna store it back. So
stack underscore multiplier gm4 underscore stack size.
Don't you want data merge? Oh.
Because we have to store the result back in.
Yeah. Is that how you put it back in?
Yeah, because we have to insert it and not overwrite. So then byte scale 1.
Wizard, that's true. It won't work if
Run.
you leave a bucket in an empty slot earlier, and we have to make sure that doesn't happen, actually. So there's an oversight.
What was that, sorry?
What?
Oh no, Wizard, that's wrong. Because if we insert the result item, it will delete all the items in empty slots. So we don't have to worry about remaining items in empty slots. So I put a semicolon here.
I mean, the recipe output clears all the other items anyway, right?
Yep. That's why we don't have to worry about any other items. That's why we can just do item 0 in line 3.
Which will just be the first item in the slot. So we can still put a second item after it, like you say, an empty bucket or something. It won't be multiplied, but... So only one item can be multiplied.
Yeah, so that's something to keep in mind. If you want multiple outputs in a recipe, which none of the modules currently do, only the first item will have to multiply.
I don't see this as being a limitation. If we've been doing Gamemode 4 for this many years without needing a recipe output that doesn't fit what this... Like, this fits all existing recipes. We will cross that
bridge, come to it.
Yeah.
Hunter Nixon, a custom crafter expansion pack. We don't know how we're dealing with that. We'll probably have a template available somewhere that you can edit the recipes.
Yeah, we'll have... Yeah, you'll get a template.
There will probably be a future stream about creating the template.
Probably.
I mean, I need to create a template builder from the website anyway, so I might as well build a recipe builder on the website.
Yeah, you might as well, while you're on it, just build a special builder as well.
How many of them?
Oh, don't overdo it. We don't want too many.
No.
Yeah.
A nice round number like 32 should do.
All right.
Get stack cut size.
Okay, let's test this. I gotta go. Come on. I hope.
Is that it? Is that everything? Are we done?
Yes.
So
do it.
If
let's go.
By some amazing coincidence, reloading this just works.
But special, did we delete?
We've installed custom crafters and standard.
We haven't deleted the tag. We haven't deleted the.
That's fine. That's good for now. It's all good.
Okay, I'm putting coal. God damn it! Oh, why did you put something in the first slot? Nothing's happening.
Both me and Blue did things at the same time.
Yeah, something up there.
It's not working.
Oh, there was an error. Could not load. Could not load the value in the function tag.
GM4 standard.
Oh, because we renamed it. Like, it isn't called value anymore, right?
No, the function tag couldn't read function tag list. Custom crafters recipe check.
Did we misspell it again?
Unknown value standard crafting : recipe check.
Is it meant to be hashtag standard crafting? No.
No. REC IPE. Check.
Custom crafters.
Maybe the function itself was misspelled?
I don't think it's fine to me.
Standard crafting.
Oh, it couldn't load recipe check, that's why.
Why couldn't it load recipe check?
Cause incorrect argument at this location where my cursor is. Oh, we forgot run.
Ugh.
Bam! Back to game.
Try this again.
It worked that time.
Okay, so
let me.
It worked.
What happens if we put 2 in? 2 in every slot.
Something weird happened there.
No, it's only the first slot. We're only testing the first slot right now.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see. Okay.
It does not store right.
It's not multiplying. But we're kind of there. Ish.
Okay. I really gotta go.
We also need to check that all the other slots are empty, I guess. But yeah.
And no, that's not a thing with custom drafters either.
Oh, that's right.
We can add it now though. We can add it though in the recipe, just unless the other slots are. Oh wait. No, because the slots won't exist.
Can we fix the multiplying before we think about that?
I really gotta go.
Alright, especially it's alright if you head off, if you want to.
We're just going to be bug fixing now, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See you, special. Alright, so where's
Have
this
fun.
failing?
Is it stack? First stack count. We don't have the fake player in stack count.
Well, you don't need to initiate a fake player. Do you?
Is that not how we were storing it for the apply multiplier? We're storing on stack multiplier on stack size. Oh, I see, stack size. That's kind of funny. We have one fake player in one of the scoreboards and one in the other. Can we get rid of crafters that we're not using right now?
Yeah, we can. Stack.
So we've got one other crafter somewhere.
As a score for stack multiplier stack size. And run data get block.
Sorry guys, we got it. Wait, there isn't a crafter here. Where's this crafter then? Oh, it's gone. Okay. Thanks, Crothers. Cheers. Okay, so we have one crafter. And the first...
Can we bring up scoreboard objectives that display sidebar?
So the stack multiplier is not being added?
Where's stack multiplier stored
Line 3
anyways?
of
in stack size?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's failing, because we can't see stack multiplier on the right.
Yeah.
Why is line 3 failing?
Has the following block data 1. So
no, it's
stack multiplier now has a score of 0. It'll only get that when there's a valid recipe in there, right?
Now it has a 1.
Yeah, because that thing in that block of coal should have a stack multiplier tag of 1, right?
Yep.
Take it out.
But what?
But why would it ever be 0?
Did you take it out?
That should now be 20.
Yeah,
oh, we're setting...
It's 0 if it fails.
It's 0 if it fails. Why is
that's fine.
12 set it to 0?
The issue is, why didn't line 3 get executed in the first place?
It's still 0 now.
Yeah, because the entire function isn't called box. The entire function apply multiplier isn't called.
Oh, is there an error?
That's why. I don't think there's an error, but that's why there was no stack multiplier fake play on the sidebar.
Yeah, so why wasn't it called?
Let me just open my console. Maybe check for misspellings.
I don't see an error, any load errors. stack size matches.
Wizard says tag. Tag column curly brackets as wizard.
Oh, is GM4 custom crafting supposed to be in a tag?
Yeah, it's supposed to be in a tag. Yep, it is. For sure. Where's the stream server? There's the stream server. Console.
Okay, so that might do it now?
Yeah, have you saved?
Yeah, I've saved.
Reloading. Still just gives one, but...
Are you putting a stack in?
Yeah. Can't access... No, it can. It's one.
Just checking something. No, the function's still not running. I put a say command in it and nothing's happening.
Let me check our syntax. Items tag. Wait, so when does it run it? It runs it if stack size matches one ... if block dropper This is failing for some reason. If the items have the tag GM4 custom crafting. Oh, maybe this doesn't work. Are we sure that doing curly brackets open close checks for the existence of the tag, or does it check whether it's empty?
I don't know.
That could be the issue.
Well, I'm finding it. If we take the call block out, does it still say hi? It doesn't. So our check is correct. Like, I'm telling it to say hi if the block underneath matches that thing we typed in the chat.
Block -1.
And now it should say hi. It does say hi.
Is it something I need to do in-game? Is it, or is something wrong?
Are we storing something in stack size that's changing it from 1 to something else in our recipe check? Were you reusing stack size for anything? We're not, are we? Because stack size.
Let me push you off. Data, get block, get the block of items 0. Yes, I can do that, wizard. Slot 8b, equal block count 1b, tag custom crafting, multiplier 1. You said you're finding it works with...
Yeah, with this.
So the open bracket, close bracket checks for its existence.
That says hi when there's an item in the last slot, with like when there's that call block in the last slot. I'll try putting something else in there and see if it still returns hi. It doesn't. If I put this call block back, it does. So it's definitely finding the tag.
Then the first thing might not fit. Is score at S.
This is what I'm asking,
Stack
whether
size.
has at S changed or has stack size changed? Thing is, I still see stack size. I still see stack size
might change in recipe check.
Stack size is still 1 and at the end. Yeah, it's 62, and then it switches to 1. I guess that's the next cycle. It reads the block of coal as 1, but it is 62 or whatever we put in.
Let me just delete this first check, just for testing reasons. Put it here.
So we're gonna, for now, we're doing it on all crafters that match that tag to run.
Just for debug reasons. Let's reload this. Let's try putting 64 in. Nope.
Custom crafting :apply multiplier is not a thing.
Oh, so maybe it's just not finding the function.
There's no custom crafting namespace, according to this. Oh, it's custom crafters.
Oh well. Let me put back the score check down.
I think we just cracked it.
Saving. Make sure the namespace is wrong. Yeah, Wizard figured it out as well.
Yeah.
Reloading. Putting in 3.
I think it's still not running because we still have the say command in multiplier that's not running.
It still says custom crafting for me, Sparks.
Oh, I thought you changed it. Sorry.
Oh no, I didn't. Custom crafters.
Okay.
Nope.
Reload. Sorry, I thought you changed it. 54. Damn it. Nothing.
No, it's you made a mistake. The tag is called custom crafting.
Oh.
The namespace is called custom crafters, and we should change that because it's horrible. It should be called, the tag should be called custom crafters as well.
Right, well we've now made it correct. Shall we try that first before we change it?
Let me change a couple of things before we continue here.
Well, now the multiply thing is printed, but it outputs nothing as the recipe result.
Try reloading now.
Reload? You reload?
Yep, reload. Nope, you reload.
Oh.
I reload.
Alright, we'll both reload. You reload. Do it.
Damn it.
Now it's not running. Now it's not running it again. That's because you probably you changed it to custom crafting. No, you didn't.
I changed everything to custom crafters. Alright,
no,
thought so.
You changed it in recipe check, but not in recipe valid. Yeah, there you go.
Right. Wait for it to upload and reload. And insert 64. Yes!
It gives you 64.
We got it. Yes, we got it.
32. So if I just do this and I go like this and I just drop 7 in, you get 7. Oh my god, yes! Why is multiply still running? Oh, we need to remove the tag from the item.
Yeah, we need to remove the tag. I guess in apply multiplier we can remove the tag. How do you do that? Let me put up data.
Can we remove a whole tag? I think we can,
yeah.
can't we?
Data, remove, block, path, and make it stop. Sparks, make it stop. I will do the tag removal if you make it stop. Data, block, remove.
We must multiply. Yeah, this is secretly we're part of that. What's that religious Christian group that says you should have as many children as possible?
Anti-pope or something.
Alright,
if we save now and then reload, it should no longer make us multiply forever.
Oh, I got rid of the say though, so we can't actually check this.
So let me
put the say back.
We must multiply. Say is back.
I've reloaded. 16. It said it once. Awesome.
Awesome.
Oh, people have been asking for this since custom crafting came out, and now it just works, and it's so fast as well.
Do you have another minute, Sparks?
Sure, yeah.
Can we make sure that empty slots are counted in as well?
What do you mean?
Because we need to figure out a way to finally count, make sure that there are no empty slots.
Yeah.
I do this, and then I can just keep dropping in items.
And you lose the items.
Yeah.
Interestingly, you putting 1 in there doesn't stop the output of being 16. It's not replacing the coal block with a new coal block with a new tag and then applying the multiplier.
That happens after it gets rid of the item. This is so cool.
I suppose we could... Can we compare the number of found... the number of slots with the expected number of slots for that recipe?
We have a filled slot counter.
Yeah, so...
And we know how many slots there are in the custom graph.
So if the recipe check is expecting 1 slot filled, I guess we can count the number of...
We should only execute a recipe if the slots filled matches the recipe slot, the slots required.
Yeah. That would fix it, right? That would...
Yep.
I don't think you could fool that, because all the slots, you can only use the number of slots the recipe expects, and it'll only work anyway if all of those slots have the right things in them.
Yep.
So how do we so execute if my score is equal to... we can't just put a number though, can we? We have to actually set a score, because we can't compare against an actual number.
Where is that?
Like if we want to check if this slot count, if the slot... What?
We have too many functions there.
Where's my scoreboards gone?
It's under init.
Yeah, I think it's been overwritten by the restart.
It's under custom crafters init.
Oh, right. I was looking at the wrong init.
Yeah, we've got too many functions.
Oh, yeah. Custom crafters init.
Welcome to the server, Jackie the Jack.
Yeah, so...
Without us execute if score, select object with matches 9, ...
Oh, yeah, you're right. Matches.
That's how we want to do it, and it's really simple and really good. I love it.
Not ... though, just an exact number.
Yep, and that will be hard-coded with each recipe, which should be fine. Oh, this is amazing.
Score...
I've got to do this, but it's fine.
Okay, execute if score at S GM4 slot count.
Slot count isn't a thing anymore. Is it?
I think it is. That's what's in it. Slot count and stack size.
Alright, that's great then.
Unless it didn't save.
No, I think
stack
it's slot count.
size.
Scoreboard objective.
Slot count. Yeah, that's correct.
GM4 and
so many
slot
tabs.
Count.
Score at S GM4 slot count matches.
Yep, slot count is right.
And then this is currently 1.
Currently 1, but it's hard.
It will be 9.
Need to hard code this for each recipe.
Yeah. So this way we.
So if we save this now.
We don't even need to interrogate the dropper's MBT if the slot count is wrong.
Oh, this is genius.
This is so nice. Would that mean... No, that doesn't mean there's any advantage to putting the recipe checks in a certain order, is there?
No.
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 But it's helpful.
Alright, let's save and reload. Tell me once you've saved.
So basically this should still work, but... Oh, I have not saved. I will save. Right, it's now saved. You reload. Well, I'll reload. So now, if you put this in, it should work. And if you put this in, it shouldn't work. Yeah, look at that! It doesn't work!
This is so amazing.
Oh my god, we have We have shaped crafting with empty slot checking. This is like beautiful. Multi-crafting, you can't overwrite recipes by accident anymore.
Do you guys want some logs, by the way? You guys probably want some logs. Let me give you
try
logs.
it out, yeah.
Oh, there's a logs chest. Alright, you get the logs.
This is so nice. We should try a multiplier. We should set the recipe multiplier to 2 to see if we get 2 logs. 2 coal, sorry. For 1.
Yeah, let's just implement a couple of standard crafting recipes here.
Okay.
Let me look them up on the wiki. Standard _ crafting. Thanks to the guys that run the wiki, by the way. It's incredibly useful.
Oh, yeah. I use it for reference.
Yeah, so do I.
You must multiply.
Sparks, let's try the... What's a simple recipe to try? Let's try the sandstone to sand recipe first. It's just 1 sandstone, yields 4 sand.
Okay.
Do we want to make this recipe shapeless then?
I guess we can. The only problem with shapeless is somebody may put some sand in for a different recipe, and if they put the sand in first, it will go, oh, you must mean this, before you finish entering your recipe. That's the only issue with shapeless. I think we should put it in the first slot, if slot 0 is that.
It used to be, for that exact reason, we once made it so that for single item recipes, they need to go in the middle.
And so now we can do, if the slot count is 1 and the stack size is 16 or less.
Say it again.
We can now, under recipe check, we can check if the slot count is 1 and the stack size is 16 or less. Because we get 4 sand, right?
Yeah, now we need to add that. No, you don't need to... let me... Yes, we could actually use the stack size.
Yeah. Because we know what the multiplier is, just because we're hard coding it. So if score GM4 slot count matches 1, and if score at S GM4 stack size
Sparks, people are saying I will let you
16 or less, then we check the recipe.
Yes, people are saying there's a new issue that arises here. Since we now only allow items to craft if there are no redundant items in the dropper, people are saying, please make it slot 0, because otherwise they can't auto-craft it anymore.
Don't recipes already have that for crafting? Output is slot 8.
How
Input
people
is slot
have
0.
managed auto-crafting till now is they put in redundant items to arrange the item carefully.
Oh.
And now that doesn't work anymore. You can't have redundant items.
Right,
so
yeah.
I think we should make it slot 0, just for people to enjoy.
Well, for things like that, slot 0 is definitely the input value, the input slot, right?
Yeah. So, well, moving it to slot 0 then. Let me actually disable our...
Are you saying that on the wiki it's not currently slot 0, it's slot 5?
We've changed this to be the middle slot. Yeah, slot 4. We've changed this in a previous version of Custom Crafters to make sure that you don't accidentally put in your first item in the first slot and delete it, well, craft it.
So it's currently the middle slot.
Yeah, but we're gonna move that, because if we don't, then people can't automate it.
Okay.
The only other way would be, Sparks, to only craft in a custom crafter. If you somehow give it a redstone signal or some external signal, but that would suck.
Is there a powered property for these now?
There's a triggered Oh, that would be ever so cool.
Can we make it so that you have to power a crafter for it to craft?
Yes. We could actually, I think. What's the triggered property?
Or you could make it powered to lock it, which might make more sense, just for people who want to make a crafter quickly.
What's the triggered property? Yeah, the triggered property is basically a powered property, I think.
Triggered false.
Oh no, there's a powered. There's a triggered, right? Triggered false?
Triggered is currently false the whole time I look at it, and it's still false.
No, it's true.
Oh, I have... No, it's not. The lever's powered is true. The dropper's powered is false.
No, it's triggered true.
Not for me.
Not for you.
What's the command for picking up MBT again?
Data. Get?
No. The F3 button to copy the MBT.
F3
F3 9?
F3 and I, like info.
F3I. Triggered is marked as false for me. Facing up, triggered false.
For me, it's marked as true.
Okay. Shall we assume it works and my client's weird?
We need to test this.
You're on 1.13.1, right?
Yes, I am.
If we can make it so that you can lock them by powering them, that could be really handy for auto-crafting if you want to assemble a recipe.
Should you have to lock them or should you have to pulse them?
Power them to allow the recipe check.
There's an issue. If you power them, they do their droplet stuff.
Oh yeah, they spit. That is a problem. I think that might be why we didn't initially do it.
Can we add another natural feeling way though to lock them? Because that would be super useful for automation now that...
Yeah, it's like liquid tanks used to have a lock option, didn't they? Oh no, they had a power option, which is more for efficiency.
Can people place lever on top?
I don't...
Well, let's... What are people saying?
Well, the thing is, we could just say if block X is next to them, they stop. But I don't know if that's an extra block check all the time.
People are saying you could add an item that's designed for filter stuff.
A custom recipe with built-in custom crafting. The MBTS recipe, the jitter tester system. I'm not sure what redstone theolith means.
Where's that in the YouTube stream chat?
Well, its properties are the direction it's facing and whether it's triggered or not. It's a shame they spit when you power them.
Yeah,
because that would be
so amazing if they didn't.
Because it's definitely going to spit before the recipe check is done.
Yeah.
But
or is it?
But if you made it so that powered locked them, what?
Is it gonna split before the recipe check is done?
Only if you. Well, no, because the recipe check's every second.
Oh, true.
If it was powering locked it though, then you'd be able to craft normally. But if you wanted to make something special, you could first lock it, which makes it spit, by powering it. Then put your recipe in, and then unlocking it will not spit.
That's true.
And for normal use, if you don't care about this, it will just feel like a normal craft. You don't have to power it or anything, and it won't spit. But if you're in a custom crafting situation and you're building a machine where you want to feed things in a certain order, you can power it, which makes it spit before you put the items in.
But how would that help people?
I don't know.
With the locking, we just want to prevent. Yeah, so listen, the locking, it isn't helpful for automation, it's helpful for you not messing up your manual crafting.
Right.
Because let's say the first slot converts sand to sandstone. That should be the case for automation, right?
Yeah.
But let's say you want to craft something else that doesn't do that, but you need to insert item. Well, this is really useless, by the way. This whole locking mechanic is useless, because really, if you want to craft something, and let's say there's an let me grab some items here. Let's say you can craft some sandy wood with sand and acacia logs, right? But if you input just the sand first, the sand converts to sandstone, right?
Yeah. So as a player, you'd want to enter the recipes. You'd put the sand last or second.
Just enter the sand last.
It might catch you out and it might feel a bit weird, but you can still get the recipe you want. It's only for auto-crafting where things have to be put in a certain order that there's a potential issue, or that there is a consistent issue.
I think this is just we might just want to pay attention when creating or accepting expansions.
Can we include locking per recipe? I think we could. Like, if there was a recipe that we wanted to require it to not... No, because it's not about a recipe needing a lock. It's a different recipe interfering with that recipe, and the recipe that's interfering wouldn't know about the one it's interfering with.
Yeah, so...
I guess we can just make sure we design recipes in such a way that you don't get that. Like, keep in mind.
But then we wouldn't allow any recipes to have sand in the first sample.
Yeah.
I'm thinking more and more that maybe incorporating items called filter. Calling them filter is annoying for automation, because then people have to rename them and they will get deleted or something. I'm thinking more and more that adding in some way, teaching the base that some items called filter are allowed in slots, but then we need to go through all the slots again, which is super annoying.
Yeah.
That's for those recipes, you could just leave out the score check.
To allow blank slots.
But I feel like allowing blank slots is worse than...
I suppose a recipe that uses all 9 slots, there's no point checking this slot. Oh, I guess for that you don't need fill items though.
I feel like players will just have to be careful with the way they insert items in case there are conflicting recipes.
Say you wanted to craft this recipe with an autocrafter, but sand turned into sandstone. You could... Right, put a filler item in first, then the acacia log, then use a hopper to pull out the filler item, and then drop in a sand item.
Yeah, that's fine.
Right?
The issue is more about I think, can we agree on this? The sand shouldn't be in the middle, it should be in the top left.
Yeah.
For automation's sake.
Otherwise you have to waste 4 filler items for every sand you craft.
Well, you can't waste them, because you would need to pull them out again.
Yeah, and you can't really put item filters for more than one item underneath the custom crafter. Although I think you can do it with hopper minecarts actually. You can have multiple filters by putting like 4 or 5 hopper minecarts underneath. I think that's a thing, right?
What's the order in which hoppers pull out items from containers?
I don't know. I want to say first slot first. I think they pull out first slot first.
Yeah, just take a look at this.
I'm looking, yeah. Yeah, first slot.
And you don't need an item filter.
No, you don't.
Because
you put in 2 items, you allow 1 item out, and then you
just wait. In. So to get this item into the middle, what you do is you take a bunch of unstackable items, like wooden shovels, you first insert wooden shovels.
Yeah.
Then
you
the
insert the sand.
Then you start exporting items.
For the exact time it takes those items to go out, and then you're done.
Yep.
And then that would convert to sandstone, and then you can unpower the hopper underneath to pull the sandstone out.
Yep. So we can put the item in the center, which will prevent players from accidentally placing the item in top left first. The only issue we had previously, why we would allow sand in the mid-center, is usually as a player you start inserting items from the top left. Well, that's likely. And you will be really confused if your sand disappears.
Yeah.
Alright, so we put it in the center.
We'll keep it as it currently is, which is middle slot.
Yep.
But the output goes to the last slot.
Yep.
Why do we put the output in the last slot?
There was a reason for it.
There was.
I don't remember.
I think it's because if the result, say if the result was sandstone to sand and you put 4 sand in the middle slot, then if the sand was a recipe thing, it would have moved it to the next recipe. So we put it to a different slot so that you don't get that.
Alright, so
sand in
middle slot it is.
Sand in middle slot, got it. Why not first slot? Now it's even harder to automate. Because the first slot would cause that potential recipe conflict.
The middle slot does as well, technically speaking, but players are likely to put items in the first slot first when filling out the recipe. This is such a hard thing to decide on.
You say don't have conflicts, but if we do this, then you exclude any recipe that has sand in the first slot.
Well, this way we exclude any recipe that has sand in the middle, but
only if you put the sand in the middle first. But I guess that's the same thing for the item in the first slot. Automating is definitely easier if the sand is in the first slot.
This is so hard to decide. The issue I've got with the first slot is, as a player, if I start inserting a recipe, I would start inserting the item in the first.
Especially if you're shift-clicking items in.
Yeah.
But I guess people will learn. But then if it's a big full 9 slot recipe, you might forget that there's also a recipe that starts with sand. Especially if it was an expensive thing you're trying to make.
Starts with sandstone, by the way. It's crafting. Is it a 1-to-1 ratio?
This is so. There's advantages to both. But shapeless is definitely the worst because it has all of the disadvantages.
Yeah.
1-to-4 ratio.
In the case of sand, this is actually fine because you can't craft it back, you know.
Yes. Oh man.
But with Gamemode 4, all the recipes should be fair, right? So if you have a recipe that just takes one input item and outputs one output item, it's probably something that you can craft back.
You can't turn. Well, yeah, you can because like sandstone slabs to sand, you can.
Yeah, you can turn those back.
Well, you can if you turn 2 sandstone slabs into 4 sand, then you can make 1 block of sandstone with that, and then get 2 half slabs from it.
Yep.
Well, sort of. I think you need slightly more than 2.
Yeah, you need slightly more,
but yeah, you don't really lose out.
I don't think we'll ever approve an expansion pack that turns one item into another item that you can't craft back because
it's all complex recipes, isn't it? Usually that gives you the expensive stuff.
Yeah, and if you have a 1-to-1 trade, those 2 items must be essentially the same.
So let's put it in the first slot.
Yep.
To make it easier to automate. Okay. Man, we've been all over the place with this decision.
Okay, so matches 1, if score stack size matches 16, that's due to the sandstone, right?
Yeah, because we get 4 back, so we don't want it to be any higher than that. If Have you just disabled the log one?
Yeah, I have. Because
Okay.
that's not a proper recipe.
All
We're
right.
doing standard crafting here.
So if slot 0B is sandstone.
That's everything for this line. Run merge multiplier.
Yeah.
I'm just copying all the stuff, by the way, for viewers that are confused by all the stuff popping up.
Yeah.
It should output sand blocks, right?
Yeah, sand with a count of... Well, actually, it doesn't matter what the count is because we're going to change it anyway.
Oh, yeah, the count
as long as it's 1. And then the multiplier should be 4. That should be it. That's really simple. People can just add like 1 line per... That's half the commands, technically, of original crafting.
Let's test this then.
Okay.
You want to try it?
Yes.
For the audience to see?
Sandstone. Do we need to exclude non-chiseled? Like, give it a damage check? Oh no, because they're different blocks now, aren't they?
They're different blocks.
Okay, so...
That should be included.
It gave us 4, so the multiplier worked. Now let's try 2 and see if it gives us 8, which it should. 8, great.
Yes,
now let's give it
64,
a number that's higher. It doesn't work. 32 doesn't work. Now let's give it 17. Wait, did we just get 64 sand, or did you put that in there by hand?
I gave it 16.
Don't do that, man. So 17 also doesn't work. This won't work because it's the wrong shape. But when I take this away, we get 64 sand.
Oh,
so cool.
Amazing.
Oh my god, this is amazing. This is better than I thought it would be. It's not. We're not even compromising. This is more efficient. Oh my god, I'm so happy about this.
All right, let's do another recipe because let's find it super easy.
Yeah, like now we've got the base system. Adding new recipes is piss easy.
Let me check the wiki. Sparks, I will let you do 1 sandstone slab yields 2 sand.
Okay. I can't remember what the command is on this for duplicating a line because it's different from me. It's like Control-Shift-D or something, I think. So if
Control page down something. I think.
Stack size matches. We don't need to do the...
Here's a question. Should we include the chiseled and the cut sandstone? Should you be
I guess
able
we
to turn
can.
those
We don't
back
have
to
that
sand?
limitation that we used to, I guess. It's still more checks, but
it's 2 more recipes, of course. But
this is only going on to crafters that currently have a matching recipe in them, though, right? Or like a valid recipe.
yeah.
So again, as long as people keep crafters empty of items when they're not using them. That is one sad. Oh, hang on, I've just had. Oh, if we leave custom tags on the items that the recipes produce, they're not going to stack properly with other things, are they?
Yeah, but we don't leave those.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it would have been nice to have a not a recipe item tag, so that if there's an item that's the result of a recipe in a custom crafter, it doesn't actually trigger the recipe check.
Oh.
But we
then
can't
they
do
won't
that.
stack, and that's annoying.
Yeah, I know. It's a shame.
Is that how you spell chisel? That's not how you spell chisel,
I don't know, because I remember having an argument with Mojang about how chiseled is spelt for Gamemode for Ruins.
It's spelled chiseled with an E.
You don't need the size match check on all of these, by the way. Sandstone slab.
I don't. I do. I do.
Well, it depends on how many you're outputting. Which one am I doing? The slabs. Slabs to 2 sand.
Yep. How's chat feeling
Which
about
means
this?
I do need this.
Chat is saying a lot. But help us pull from first slab. First, right? So the powering should lock the crafter and also cause the drop to drop, leaving it up to the player to ensure that doesn't break the system.
Where are you reading this? Oh, I see it. Against the
William
powering...
says, may I again suggest that powering should lock the crafter and will also cause the dropper to drop, leaving it up to the player to ensure that it doesn't break the system. Part of me says that implementing a locking system that completely disables the crafter might not be a bad idea at all.
Yeah,
especially if it's just
on
using a lever.
Whether this triggered tag actually works or not, like server side.
Let's check that, because I think giving the player the opportunity
to lock it
might be a good thing.
It won't interfere with their regular play.
It's just like 1 or 2 commands.
It might not even need an extra command. It might just be a MBT check on an existing command, right?
Oh yeah, that's true. It might just...
Like, let's have a look. Under... Where's main? There it is. Under main. Oh, this is the wrong main.
Okay, let me check whether this trigger tag works.
Custom crafters.
Data. Execute. Yes. Blue fires. No. If block -2 dropper.
Oh, dropper. See, the triggered thing is a block state, not an MBT tag.
Yep.
Whereas we're checking. Oh, can we do this? Can we just?
Yes.
You can do this.
You can do a block stack state and let me just look
oh my god, I'm so happy right now.
Yep, you can do that.
So that might.
Okay, let me check whether triggered works.
Okay.
That's a bit spammy. Let me put that on the action bar. Action bar.
In the meantime, I've turned it off like a sensible person.
Oh, I'm so happy about this. Okay, so
how did you get colored text in here? Does the section sign just not show up?
there's no color text in there.
Oh. What? What?
It's the syntax highlighting.
Oh, okay, sure.
There's an issue though. Why does it always tell me it's triggered?
Is it off?
Wait, what? Oh, butt powering. Let me fix that.
Oh.
That's fine. Butt powering is a thing. But alright. Triggered? No longer triggered.
Oh my god. So we can let people lock it if they want.
Can I? Let me change the times on the action bar. Is it title? Does it correspond to title times? I hope.
It should do. You can't change times for action bar. Oh, okay.
Can't change times for action bar. Then let's go with a title. Title. Nope.
We can easily remove the locking option if we decide we don't like it. That is so useful.
Beautiful.
The one thing is somebody might put it next to a power source for some reason and wonder why their crafter isn't working.
Yeah, well, it's a new feature now.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the sparks.
Yeah.
I love how it says triggered, not triggered.
That's really cool. Are these recipes you've entered already? Correct. Did you finish editing them before you got sidetracked?
Yeah, I did. The sensor recipe should work. And now we can make it so that triggering it disables it. Did you do that, by the way?
I see.
Triggered false.
Oh, because you added the different types of sandstone. Gotcha. Yeah, I added the triggered thing. I'm saving. I've saved them both.
Work.
Let's reload.
Oh, this is beautiful.
So over here.
Just putting this here.
Okay.
Thanks for the suggestion, William. What if you rotated the crafting table arm stand or something else to give a visual display of when it's locked? That's a good idea, but I feel like I don't want to teleport or update the entities. I just want to keep the amount of commands low.
Oh, it still crafts.
Still crafts?
Yep.
But it's not triggered. Is it?
Oh, oh, wait. No, it was triggered. The lever was down.
Let me move this command block to our actual.
Right, trigger it.
Maybe our check is wrong.
Should be.
Oh, Sparks, you're in unless, so you need to change this into true.
Oh. This means that it has to be triggered and have no items. Oh no, that means that if it has items, it will ignore the.
Oh, should this
Is this
be
an
another...
and check?
I'm not sure.
Let's try it. Unless.
Reloading it.
Okay. So. Oh god.
Oh, it doesn't craft.
Now it does. It's currently not. It is crafting right now.
Now it does have to be triggered for it to craft. No. Yes. No. What?
Where did all my half slabs go?
I've got them. There you go. So now it isn't crafting regardless. Oh no, that's just too big of stack.
Stop putting things in. It is crafting sandstone slabs.
But there are sandstone slabs in there. Why is it crafting sandstone?
It's crafting sand.
Yep, but why is it crafting? There's something in the... Let me remove the we must multiply, by the way.
I don't understand.
Why is it crafting if there are items in there?
Because you put items into craft. I think you're miswording something.
There were redundant items in there, weren't there?
No, I took them out. I think.
Or maybe it was just weird teasing.
I'm putting one sandstone in slab, and I'm getting 2 sand out.
I'm triggering.
Okay, while it's triggered, I'm still getting recipe results, so our check isn't working.
Something.
Dropper.
Chat. If block dropper trigger equals false.
So you're saying to change this to false and check for items, and change unless to if. Try that.
Alright.
Okay, so it is triggered. I'm putting a half slab in, not crafting. Untrigger it.
Untrigger.
And it crafts. Awesome.
It works. Fancy. This will be super useful for players. I say now and then nobody uses it.
Waiting. Hey! Cool.
Oh, this is cool. And this also reduces lag, so you can just disable your...
Yeah, because I guess that would stop it. I still don't quite understand how much of this evaluation is saved. I think it's still interpreting.
Neither do I.
It's not running the function, but I don't know if it's actually saving us any lag because it still has to check the dropper for no items.
We could move this trigger check into another block check first. And do that before the item tag evaluation.
that might actually... although, would you say that most often people will not be using this feature? Which means that, like, if it was common for it to be powered, it would probably be a saving, because it's 2 checks, but because it's rare, that will actually be a saving.
Yeah.
It probably isn't worth it.
Let's just leave it like this. It's fine.
I can see your point, but I think with the use cases we're expecting, it probably won't help much. Because, yeah.
Alright, this is super cool. Next recipe is...
I love that you can put a lever like in the... It looks like the the crafting table itself has got a... If ever there was a time to change the visual block on top of crafters so that it's a custom head with a texture, now would be it. Because we're not checking... Because before, the type of crafter was determined by the block on the head, right?
Yeah.
Which made backwards compatibility an issue. Actually, that's the point, because we're switching it from block on head to tags. Old crafters will have to be broken and replaced to work.
Yeah, that's the case for most 1.13 stuff. The old modules won't work anymore because 1.13 messes with stuff.
Okay.
But I like the...
No, I mean, like an existing crafter in the world will need to be broken and replaced.
Yeah, they will, because everything breaks in 1.13.
But like, we could support them by continuing to check the head slot sort of thing.
No, that's not necessary, Sparks. Everything's broken, like really everything. If you update a 1.12 world that has scoreboards on it, all scoreboards that aren't dummies will get deleted.
Oh, wow, okay. Fair enough then. Well,
so
not our fault.
Breaks.
No point supporting.
Alright, next recipe is...
we have been going for 3 hours, and it's working.
Let me do one more recipe.
Stop the stream. I'm so happy about this.
Alright, let me do the ice to packed ice recipe before we leave, because I want to test a bigger recipe.
I would suggest a one-time conversion script, William Spencer, that like runs on initialize, except for the fact that crafters would have to be loaded when that runs, or the conversion script would have to run all the time in the hope that a new crafter may become loaded that was unloaded before. That's the problem we've had in the past with upgrading stuff.
Yeah, conversion scripts are nice, but a hassle.
If we could load the entire Minecraft world for it, then sure, that would be amazing. It would be laggy, but it would update everything.
6, 7, 8, 9. There's actually a chunk loading command in 1.13.1, but you can't use it in command blocks.
Nope. Because that will make sense.
Does Bugs want to help me out?
With what?
Change the outer ring of items. Well, everything except the middle item. To ice.
On the last line?
Actually, this is stupid. This crafting recipe is redundant.
What? Ice to packed ice?
Ice and snow to packed ice is redundant.
Can you make packed ice now?
Yeah, with 9 ice.
Oh, okay. So yeah, and I guess making snow is more of a hassle than getting ice if you already have ice.
Yeah, I like the vanilla recipe.
Okay. I guess we'll remove it then.
Alright, so let's be happy and call this a day.
Okay, cool. There's a couple of other recipes to add to this, but I think we've proven the point and actually managed to get this done in a very reasonable amount of time considering how much of a change it is. I'm so happy with this. And I think
we'll add a bunch of recipes off stream.
Yeah, I think players are going to really like being able to multi-craft as well, because that's been asked for so long.
And the custom crafters don't delete items anymore.
Nope.
Does it? Like if I put... Damn it. Put an item here, one here, and then trigger it, then disable it. Waits until it's untriggered. Ah, it's beautiful. I'm so happy with this.
Mm-hmm. Who's triggered? Man. Alright, well thank you very much for watching everybody. There's been some really good feedback and suggestions from the viewers. And hopefully we can release custom crafters better than ever. This module's been through so many reworks and they've all made it better. are more efficient.
Right.
I think we've got some good stuff here. So thanks for helping, Blue. Thanks to Special, who was here earlier, and everybody in the chat.
You will enjoy this when he's back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see what he says about the powered thing.
Yeah. Have a nice day, everyone. See ya.
See ya.